I had barely returned to Guildmere when Gil stormed in. He tilted his head, frowning slightly, studying me like a puzzle. "Are you really septuplets?" he muttered. "You look identical. Just different personalities." I sat up in bed, wrapped entirely in blankets, on high alert. "Don't come any closer," I warned. "I'm not dressed," which was true. I was still wearing Ashenfall's robes. There hadn't been time to change. Gil crossed his arms, clearly enjoying himself. "So when I'm not around," he said lazily, "you sleep naked?" I somehow doubt that. He was being unreasonable. I decided to escalate. "I see," I said thoughtfully. "You're curious. That's natural. Tell you what, I'll count to 3, then I dropped the blanket. I gripped both edges tightly, locked eyes with him. 1, 2, 3. I threw the blanket open. "Feast your eyes," Gil shrieked. Threw his sleeve over his face in panic. "Lyra too," he shouted. "You are completely unhinged." Worth it, truly. Northreach fortunately was much easier. After hearing that I'd been getting along rather well with Greyhole's prince, North entered a period of deep self-reflection. He hesitated beside me for a long time before finally asking very quietly, "Is it really that cold here? Is that why you don't like it?" I slowly unfastened the fur collar, loosened the cloak, removed the sheepskin cap, set aside the small blanket, placed the warming brazier down, moved my feet away from the coals. "Sorry," I said politely. "What was that?" North froze, hesitated. "Nothing," he said quickly. I tapped my shoulder. "If it's nothing," I replied, "you should probably talk less. This setup takes effort." I put my feet back on the brazier, returned the warming stone to my lap, wrapped myself up again. Blanket, cloak. Then I realized my hands were stuck. Last time, someone had helped me. North leaned closer, focused, long fingers adjusting the fur collar with practiced precision. He even smoothed the fur strands, thoroughly. I felt a twinge of guilt. Perhaps saying he was doomed had been excessive. "For what it's worth," I added, "those days were actually quite good. I ate them all after." North heard the apology. He lowered his head, smiling softly. "You use both hands," he said, "rotating 3 at a time." That was impressive. My father had taught me that trick. He claimed no man could resist it. I used to doubt him. Watching North, I decided he might be right. Men are very strange creatures. Amberfall should have been the easiest. Em was genuinely confused. The weather was warm, and yet I had caught a cold. I sniffed. "Northreach," I said weakly. I froze there. After the incident in Guildmere, when I arrived wearing Ashenfall's robes, I adjusted my methods. I placed the portal directly beside my bed. Now I traveled fully wrapped. The physician of Amberfall examined me carefully. According to the season, he declared it a heat illness. I stared at him. "Could you check again?" I asked softly. "It might be a cold." He was an honest old man, brutally so. "Unless you enjoy running naked," he said flatly. "No one freezes in this weather." I puffed my cheeks in indignation and swallowed the medicine in one go. He treated me. I worsened. He frowned. I faded dramatically. "Sir," I whispered, barely alive, "let's not be stubborn. Please prescribe something for a cold. I may not survive another dose." Anne stayed by my bedside, worried. I smiled weakly. "You can tell them to stop fanning," I said. "If you don't mind, could you close the window instead?" Had the old physician not reconsidered, I might have perished in Amberfall. When I recovered, Em invited me to grilled meat. I was distracted. As he tended the coals, he asked casually, "Lyra," he said, "what kind of person do you like?" Sparks jumped. I pulled my hand back. "Honestly," I replied, "I'm very career-oriented. I enjoy being busy. It makes me feel fulfilled." He handed me the meat. "I've heard your 6th sister is fond of the Crown Prince of Greyhold. Would you like someone like that?" I denied it 3 times in a row. Of course not. Absolutely not. Not even a little. Aside from his appearance, what is there? I couldn't possibly. Em lowered the tongs, raised an eyebrow. You've met him? I stared at the skewer, appetite gone. He was clearly testing me. When did you know? I asked. In Ashenfall, he said calmly. When I mentioned fish, you laughed. When Gray spoke of you, you dropped your bowl. And then there were your glances with Riv. I looked up. What do you want? Consider it, he said lightly. Even setting Gray aside, Riverwind cannot compare to Emberfall. He coughed. And I am not inferior to the Prince of Greyhold. In terms of appearance, Em and North were exceptional. Gray and Riv carried effortless charm. The remaining three each had their own strengths. Gil was striking, Val dignified, Ash commanding. But they didn't understand. The Crown Prince of Greyhold was my type. I'll think about it, I said. I'll inform you. Treatment delayed me several days. Time grew tight. I decided to skip Riverwind. Riv already knew what I was doing. And once I stopped pretending to be discreet, politeness became optional. I went straight to Stormvale. Val avoided me completely. When I asked around, I learned he hadn't even noticed my absence. I sought him out myself. Don't you find me suspicious? I asked. Disappearing for days, then reappearing without warning. Val pressed his lips together. Your appearances, he said quietly, are always sudden, including now. He was bathing. Steam filled the room. Only his face remained above the water. His ears were vividly red. Standing felt too domineering. I crouched by the edge instead. My schedule is tight, I said. You kept avoiding me, so I had to slip in. 4 days per kingdom. I needed visibility. You could write, Val suggested hesitantly. I disliked reading. Fine. Stormvale would be skipped in the future. I rinsed my hands, preparing to leave. Val kept watching me. Perhaps my movements startled him. He stepped back, lost balance, sank beneath the water. Bubbles rose, slowly. I considered my options. Rescue him now, or write him a letter later. The bubbles thinned. If I waited much longer, I'd be sending incense instead. I hauled him out and left a message for the attendants. One must choose. This, apparently, was the optimal choice. Then I returned to Greyhold. The king had passed days earlier. The palace was quiet. Gray wore mourning robes, no crown, no shoes. His long sleeves brushed the floor. Moonlight slipped through the window, turning his face pale. Alone before the bronze chimes, he struck them gently. The sound was sorrowful. It had been a month since I last saw him. You've returned, he said. He knew.